So those are the closing arguments in Wisconsin during the Rittenhouse trial. You lose the right to self-defense when you're the one who brought the gun. Now, legally, that is nonsense. It's insane. There's no reference point whatsoever in American law for that statement. But the law is not the point. They don't need the law. They now have the unilateral authority to destroy your business, ruin your reputation, throw you in prison, prevent your family from hiring a lawyer to defend you, or get you out of jail. Virtually every power center in the United States agrees that self-defense is no longer allowed. You could no longer fight back. And if you don't believe it, remember how the media covered the Rittenhouse trial. He carried a gun across state lines. He's a white supremacist. Here was a man exercising his fundamental right of self-defense. But he was charged with murder, and corporate media backed the prosecutors. During Rittenhouse's trial, one prosecutor called James Krause told the jury openly that Rittenhouse should have just allowed the thugs to beat him to death. He had no right to defend himself. Quote, "Everyone takes a beating sometimes," Krause says, a man who's never taken a beating in his life. And then another prosecutor you'll recall, called Thomas Binger, declared that if you own a gun, you are effectively waiving your right to defend yourself. Watch.
They have to convince you that Joseph Rosenbaum was going to take that gun and use it on the defendant because they know you can't claim self-defense against an unarmed man like this. You lose the right to self-defense when you're the one who brought the gun.
So those are the closing arguments in Wisconsin during the Rittenhouse trial. You lose the right to self-defense when you're the one who brought the gun. Now, legally, that is nonsense. It's insane. There's no reference point whatsoever in American law for that statement. But the law is not the point. They don't need the law. They now have the unilateral authority to destroy your business, ruin your reputation, throw you in prison, prevent your family from hiring a lawyer to defend you, or get you out of jail. You saw that happen in St. Louis when another Soros-backed DA, this one called Kim Gardner, targeted the McCloskey family. Now, the McCloskeys were sitting having dinner outside their house, bothering nobody in St. Louis, when a mob out of nowhere came through the gate, broke the gate, stormed their property, and threatened them. So they went inside and got their legally retained firearms and displayed them. They didn't shoot anybody. It was their property. They held up their guns and said, "Get off our land. Stop threatening us." What did the Soros-backed prosecutor do? Charge the McCloskeys with felonies.
I am disturbed by the events that occurred over this weekend, where there were peaceful protesters who were met with guns and a violent assault. Since learning of these events over this weekend, I've worked with the public and the police to investigate these tragic events. I will use every extent of Missouri law to hold individuals accountable.
Another Soros-backed prosecutor. Now, you have to wonder, why would a Hungarian currency trader be interested in spending untold millions and millions and millions of dollars to invert our justice system, to put the state on the side of the lawless, to put prosecutors on the side of the criminal against the law-abiding? What's Soros' interest in doing that? It's clearly working, and what gives him the right to change our ancient justice system? No one in the media asked that question. Instead, they celebrated the DAs that he installed. Kim Gardner was celebrated by the news media. As CBS 60 Minutes reported gleefully, Gardner, quote, stopped locking up nonviolent offenders, dropped low-level drug cases, and ended cash bail. Right. What 60 Minutes didn't tell you is that under Gardner's tenure, the city recorded its highest per capita murder rate in over half a century. Many more people died. And not just in St. Louis, and not just in New York, and not just in Baltimore or Philadelphia, everywhere. Arlington, Virginia, experiencing a significant increase in violent crime this year. Why? A Soros-backed prosecutor called Parisa Degani Tofty has also prosecuted clear cases of self-defense. You can't defend yourself. The people who are favored by the regime can do whatever they want. You can do nothing to protect your life, your family, your property.